For some reason, I think that my song kicked off a little too soon.
Oh,
I don't know what happened there. Anyways, welcome everybody to Beyond the Box. Hi, Jason. Um, God, it's been a long week. I don't even know where to start. How are you, Chad?
oh, I'm doing all right.
Good.
I had a busy week too, just because it's mushroom season, and I'd like to forage, and I've been doing classes. You can hear me, correct?
Yeah, you were a little muffled for a whole minute, but
But
let's see.
this is supposed to work well. This thing,
Oh, that works good right there.
okay? She's a little sensitive, and so I've been busy with mushroom classes and foraging. And then, as you know, I went out last night, and so I had full lights on because Chad had 3 beers instead of two, and he only had one
Did you have fun last night?
in Rome, right? Yeah, I don't drink, so it's just like, whoo, my
Get three
eyes
beers.
puffballs this morning. Almost,
In Rome, do as the Romans do.
it
Have
was.
three beers.
Let me tell you. And so that was nice. I like to go to live mics and stuff like that, and that's what this was. Is a little bit of a concert from somebody who's been doing live mics there for a year, and it was entertaining. And
Hmm.
so, yeah, yeah, I had to recover from that, and then I had to recover from my uh, dirty chai latte the other day. It was a large and it had 4 shots of espresso in it.
Oh, good God.
I was up for quite a while, but my house got clean. My dog got washed. I showered. It was like, you
He had
know,
all the energy, boy. He was just bouncing. Hi, Rebecca.
yeah. So it's
You're
been an
like,
okay
ooh, lattes.
week for me. It's been rather uneventful, other than just the normal politics,
Yeah,
going in the world that are so,
I
yeah,
know.
the word for it, but yeah.
Every day when Glenn and I do that afternoon show, and every time he brings that up, I just shake my head. I'm just like, I just,
Ah,
like, okay, I'm just going to stay right here in my little box.
yeah.
Just-
And I was listening to you guys, and I commented in his comments about the Atlas, right? And so I went out of the box, of course, and I said, "It's a finger," and he chuckled at it and said, "Oh, my audience." Today we're going to go into 3-1 Atlas and Giants, and we're going to challenge everybody's paradigm just a little bit with this one, including Brenda's,
Great.
and that's because of beliefs in space and this planet. And so we just look at the evidence, and I like to say things are not or but and, right? That's my philosophy, and I'd stick to it. So uh, Brenda's right, and Penny Bradley's right, and somewhere in there there's the truth, and somewhere in there we're wrong. So I don't think we've all been handed the full package with a bow on it. So we're going to expand out into space today, which may or may not exist. And I'm being honest, I'm not being snarky or anything.
Yeah.
I'm
Oh, I
it
know.
may not freaking exist. Who knows? And if it's a firmament up there, or if there's a dome above us, just how big is this dome? What kind of dome is it? Is there a first layer, a second layer, a third layer? And
Seven.
okay, there you go. And then there's allegedly 78 layers of heaven above us to navigate through after death to get to the real one. So,
And we're like this
oh, we're gonna
big.
get into it. Well, we're so gonna get into it. I mean, I'm sorry, y'all. If you've ever felt tall or short in your life, you can just chuck that right out the window, because we're like
Shit, like
bacteria size. I mean, it don't matter. You're gonna feel like part of us are giants. We are giants, right?
there's giant
And
chains still. Yeah.
yeah, well, I just mean in relation to, like, say, ants, or
Yeah.
especially the tiny ants, because there's giant ants that aren't that giant, compared to the tiny, tiny ones that walk underneath them. And I don't know how much time people spend looking at insects, but I enjoy it. And I do. I feed ants actually, because it makes me feel rich.
I
I
used
take
to
the
have
bread and then I just break it up, and I'm like, there you go.
I used to
The
have
giant you.
I used to have a praying mantis that used to hang out on my back porch, and it stayed there for the longest time. And I guess she had babies because when she disappeared, all of a sudden I look on my table and these itty bitty tiny little white ones, and they would come up and look at me sideways, and I'm like, oh,
That's
babies.
so cute.
People would come by and go to sit at the table and put their I don't touch the table. And they're like, why? I said, all the little baby praying mantis are on here. I don't want you to squish them. They're like, oh my God.
Oh.
They were everywhere. But I miss my little praying mantis that was out there.
Yeah.
She
That
was
was
pretty
like a
cool.
visitation almost, if you think about it,
Yeah.
like or energy that came around you, and that was a sign of it maybe. So,
One of the places where I used to live, out in my garage,
mhm.
we had a good sized one there, and I would get um, hamburger meat and put it in little tiny balls, raw hamburger
Yeah.
meat, and take it out there and feed it to him, and it would eat him. Yeah,
Oh, amazing. So we are giants in ourselves, but we're also like literally, not figuratively, the size of bacteria compared to some of this that's going on out there. And we're about to jump into it in a little bit. So I have some videos I was going to start with a little bit just to initiate it and then have the discussion a little bit afterwards because it goes beyond just what the videos are about. This plays into our paradigm of where the heck are we and is size relative, you know.
I'm trying to figure out which one of these. What order do you want them in? Which ones do you
Sure, yeah, maybe the 11-minute one first.
want?
That would have been the first one I sent you.
Yeah, I wasn't watching them come in, so I don't know which one was first. Is that the something big is coming, or
Yeah,
is it okay? All right, okay, pull this up here.
and we can start a minute into it. It's about 13 minutes, sorry y'all. But sometimes you just need to geek out a little bit, and I'll reiterate
Okay, wait a minute. What was that? Oh, it's
in layman terms because we're going to be listening to a genius, but and so he has simplistic ways of saying advanced things, and we'll just kind of go further with it if needed.
got to.
This is Roger Spur with Mud Fossil University. He has a 139 IQ, I believe, and it was tested back in the 1950s when it was, meant something maybe. And he is not recognized by academia or
Oh,
peer reviewed. And so as a genius, she should be peer reviewed, but he is rejected. And anybody that listens to his information gets blacklisted. So, or immediately
what?
drops. Yes, immediately drops away from listening to him. Now, Susie has had interaction with Roger before, and Roger used to be on the world of, I'm a scientist and there is no God and genius, or I mean Jesus or whatever, evidence of that, and blah blah blah. And now he is on the on the wagon. Not,
Hi,
I don't
Brenda.
think there's such thing as a boat or a boat wagon, but he's on the wagon, and so what he's going to go over here with, and he's saying, what's in the Bible is literally here before our eyes. And so
Right.
he's going to get into the story, perhaps. If not, I'll get into the details that he doesn't cover because he likes to repeat himself, and then you get 70% of the information, and you don't want to have to listen to too much of it to get the full information. So I'll fill
I
in the
see.
blanks.
I see the dragon.
Okay, cool. And we're afterwards, if we can get onto Google Earth, which I have pulled up here, and I just got to figure out if the share screen will allow me. We'll look at
Okay.
this ourselves so we can see it, and we'll look at Quetzalcoatl, which is over in uh, the east coast of the United States, and we'll look at Scorpzilla, which is on the west coast of the United States, and we'll look at the snakehead again down at the bottom of South America that Susie once
Yeah.
pointed out. And so this is really going to tie in a lot of what she's been talking about on your program and her shows, with the gods. And
Right.
okay, fine, they're interesting stories and they got great content, but now there's evidence behind it, and he's going to get into that because this dragon was killed by Zeus, its neck was broken, and it's eating a fish that was the god Ares. These gods could change themselves into. I may tell the story afterwards if he doesn't. I won't do it
Okay.
before. I'm eager to tell it though, but I won't.
Do you want me to start it?
Sure. Yeah. Thank
Okay.
you.
Once again, if you have seen Typhon and the fish in the desert 20 or 30 times probably already, I will actually have probably a little more to add on this one. Every time I do it, I find something else that I didn't consider before. And then I relate it to some text that I hadn't considered before. So let's just get started. Okay, just take your time slowly. This is what they did. They changed themselves into animals. That's a fish. It comes up, there's the fin. The tail is back here.
It's a flounder.
And it comes up like this.
Oh.
One eye.
Now, that is a fish.
Oh, wow.
Now, it was being attacked by Typhon, who was the dragon. And they described what Typhon was like. Now, don't forget, this is the fish. This is the scales of the fish. This is the tail. And it comes up around here like this.
Holy smoke.
And that's the belly of the fish. That's the upper fin. Now, he's spitting down something. And when they say he, you say, who is he? Well, he is he. The wind was flapping all of his unkempt feathers or whatever they are. That right there is his red flared eye. And I mean, I cannot explain why it is so perfectly like a painted onto the desert. It's kind of crazy, I have to admit, but it is what it is, and we see what it is. He spit a great jet of fire, and I'm telling you right now, that is nothing but the nastiest nasty. And that came right out of his throat. And we're going to see his throat because it got cut.
That's his
By
head.
Zeus
That's
with
his
his
eyeball,
great
that
and
red
mighty
dot.
sword. Now, all of that stuff came out from his throat.
Hi, Sparky. We're talking about dragons
And giants
and giants.
in outer space. No.
In outer space. That would be one hell of a movie.
Like Muppets in space, yeah. Giants and dragons
Muppets in
in outer
space.
space.
Okay, let's go back to looking at the dragon.
Right here, a great jet all the way down onto the fish. Not only did it hit the fish, it dissolved the fish's scales. And you can see all the way down into the veins, the arteries, the blood vessels. They get tinier and tinier until they filter all right into the capillaries and then into the veins. And you can even see the lymph ducts in here. This is right down to the biology that's underneath the scales. So that venom has attacked this fish down to here. They're both laying here. They appear to be dead.
Well,
They say deathless. Well, what does that exactly mean?
if he doesn't think that they're dead, he needs new glasses.
I know.
They appear to be dead. No.
But they're also gods, so I don't know. He's going to get into that, so we'll see.
Oh, all right.
That can turn
The
themselves
spirit
into
went
stone.
somewhere, or they're going to get up one of these days. Well, I don't know. That right there is the dragon's head, and this whole thing is his throat. And here's his body. Remember this, the thighs? These are the thighs. Here he comes down, his head.
The thighs of a man.
Spit out the...
What?
Typhon, he has the thighs of a man, according to the legends, and it has little tentacles coming out the bottom. So now we're back up at the head.
Oh.
Of the dragon.
That's interesting.
Great jet of fire. And when I say fire, I'm not kidding you. That's fire. Again, I cannot explain how can it look so... It's like somebody came up here and painted it with a paintbrush. Look at that.
Wow.
But it's exactly what it says. And that's exactly what it is. Now, all unkempt and floppy and so forth, they're coming off of here, yes.
Nose hole, his mouth.
You see it? Now, what's coming back here, I don't know. Zeus cut a whole batch of stuff off him, they said. But let's just take his head. Here it is right here. It runs all the way down. That's the floppy looking, fluty looking stuff you see on the parades in China and places like that where they have the dragon, big long neck dragons, they come, well, that's him. This is the throat. And that's where he got cut. Now, I think I might have even gone through this, but it doesn't seem to penetrate anybody's mind. I know the astronauts are up there looking at this stuff. Think they can't see this? It's impossible. They should comment on this.
Now, did he say the astronauts can't see it? Is that what he just said? Chad? Did you mute yourself?
I did. I was trying to be responsible here. Oh, yeah, he's trying to say that they should see it. Like, why don't they see it? Why aren't they, seeing it?
Because the astronauts have never been to the moon.
And now we're going back, allegedly, huh? Now we're going back.
Yeah, we're going to go back. Did you see the interview that one guy did? I am proud to announce that in 2026, we are going to put the first man in outer space. And I think he missed that when he said it. I seen the reel. And he kept talking and all this stuff. And I'm like, I had to rewind it a couple times just to hear it. Because he did. Oh, wow. He literally. I'm proud to announce this is the first time we're going to put a human in outer space is exactly what he said. And I'm like, oh, the first time? Yeah. That's not really a secret to most of us. But, hey, it is what it is.
Those astronauts, can't they see this stuff? You see that?
Not in the water. They can't see
this is the Dragon River. These are dragon scales. They're all hinged so it can twist and do all that kind of stuff. And he runs, just like Apollodorus said. When he was standing up, he could brush the stars, basically. And all the way down here, and this is where his throat got cut. You see, all the way down here. Now, it said he was lashed out in a bunch of areas, and the final blow was a cut to the throat, which it is. The black is the vein blood, the red is artery blood. That's just staggering amount of flow. And it's killed him. All the rest is just runoff of a decaying body, basically. Now, we go all the way down his throat, because it continues even though it's been cut. You see it? And it comes down right towards his stomach. And then it ends up going into his stomach.
Wow.
Which is right down in this area. Now, up in here, I don't know, you have to dig around and see what you can find. But I'm convinced this is him, Typhon attacking the fish, Aries. They talk about it very clearly. And he fits exactly the picture. And his thighs of human shape. And down here, all of this, you see that?
Picture this. Saving up to 10% when you bundle your home and auto insurance.
You go talk to somebody that knows about leather, about ostrich hide and skin. Because that is it, my friends. That is not termite mounds or erosion or whatever. That is the little spots in skin. These are the little anchors to anchor skin into the body. That is not just your average erosion. You see that? Right there, that's a little button that lacks that. And your skin can do all that kind of stuff. Well, the hide. See? That's what anchors them. So that is the hide that made up the coils that they talked about running all the way up from here. That's way out to here. And the same thing on this side, way down to here. Now that's in Apollodorus. It's exactly what he is. There's no difference whatsoever. And his tail goes way out here. And he got whacked out here too because there's some bleeding. You see this? That's a cut right across there. This is transition metal blood. That's a cut. And that's because it said that he got whacked in a bunch of places. But this is his tail. See? And that, you need something pretty tough to make a cut through a tail that tough looking.
Now, Chad, where did you say that this was? What landscaping is this?
Morocco.
Morocco? Okay. Oh, I got chills.
The tail continues on way out to here. That's where the like feathers or something. And if you look, you can even see the cloaca and all that stuff. Right back here where he poops.
Where he poops.
That's why it's so fertile in this area.
I love it. You can
Cloaca
see that here,
is
right where he poops.
Yep. And you can see where the guano or the bird poop is because it's got like a bird digestive system.
Yeah.
And so birds kind of do their business all out of the same place, peeing and pooping, I guess is the way he's putting it. But yeah, cloaca.
Yeah. Well,
and it's very fertile there. He'll say it in a second too. Yeah.
It's like I said, if you go through any, and I have several different Bibles, Book of Enoch, I've got the Geneva Bible, I've got it. Never, ever does it say anything about dinosaurs. And I thought to myself, dragons. It talks about dragons. We have never had dinosaurs on this earth.
I've heard there's 30 references in the Bible to dragons.
Yeah. It's been dragons. It's like the Chinese calendar. They have everything on there is a real life animal. Why would they throw a fictional character like a dragon on there and not put a dinosaur?
Yeah.
So I don't think we have never had dinosaurs on this earth. It has been dragons. That's what they were. They were dragons. Hi, Juan. So yeah, okay. So back to our little.
It's almost done, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, almost. That's cute. This is where he poops.
See? I guess that would be what you call a colon. Coming out of the gut. And it's just right in his butt area. That's it. That's all they were showing you there. It's way beyond incredible. But if we could discuss what is here, talk about it. I don't see how it can be dismissed as just being pareidolia. The only way you can dismiss it is with PhDolia. Because Typhon is there, the fish is there, the story is there. What can I say? What's there is there. And not only did Hesiod have that story, Apollodorus had this. Well, Apollodorus, I just read the.
What?
I'm like, this may be, we can probably shut it off here if you wanted, or we can continue. It's up to you. It's just got a minute left.
Okay.
Apollodorus. They all had the same story.
Yeah.
And as far as I can see, it's there. Now, not only that, like I said, we know more about this now because we know that this guy had a dragon head. He didn't have a human head. They were showing him with a human head. And this goes way back to Greek times. They show him with a dragon. I mean, you know, the
Tentacles.
what do you call them? Tentacles.
There you go.
But they show the rest of him being human. That's just not the way it is. He was dragging all the way up, and all he had was two little human thighs. And they also exactly what it says in the text. They never said he was human-headed. They never said anything about that.
Wow.
So
Interesting. So, get that out of my ear. That was interesting.
Now the story that goes behind it, I don't know if he's going to. I don't want to hold my horses. The gods can't kill each other, I believe. So you need the help of a mortal to do it. And so I think they used Hercules or somebody like that in this scenario. But what happened was after the Watchers came down and did their thing, and there were giants, the gods, one of them, I think he's Roger Spur will say it was Venus, the planet spun by Earth, and that's what caused the floods and wiped out the giants and the Cyclopses. And those were Mother Earth's, she considers those her children. And so she had intimacy with the sky and birthed out of her this dragon, Typhon. And Typhon was there to eat all the, or to go after the gods. And so the gods could transform themselves into anything. So Ares transformed himself into a fish and lured the dragon, while Ares came down with his sword and whacked at it, like he said, and the final blow is to the neck. So, and this guy was chucked out of academia for being a quack of a philosopher, the only philosopher to be tossed out, you know. And then I think the other guy that went around and that he's referring to and collected a bunch of it collected the history of a lot of spoken history, right, from indigenous people around the world, and I think that was the Apollodorus, and I think it was #1 on the New York selling list for like 12 weeks or something along those lines, and then pulled from the shelves.
Hey.
So this is not something that they consider legit. You know, academia will not acknowledge this. However, there's a dragon in Morocco with a broken neck eating a fish. So, you know, this proves what Susie talks about, you know, on your program, is got some evidence, you know, weight to it. Like and we're going to get into the war of the gods up there next, you know, after the next video.
I know why they threw him out, because, and we all know If you speak the truth and it's not what they want you to teach, because we all know all of our history, all of our history throughout life has been a lie. So if you don't teach the academic that you don't teach it the way that they want you to teach it, then they'll kick you out. You don't know nothing. And then that's when they say, oh, these people are crazy. It's like, no.
Please stick to the script and the narrative.
That's right.
You know, and our narrative, please. Yeah.
That's what they say.
And when you don't,
the
like Roger
Rockefeller narrative.
Now that second video, yeah, that's the one that I believe you can start about a minute into it, and it'll go for about 12 minutes. Sorry.
Well, right now I'm looking at what looks like a big Pop-Tart standing on top of something going to swing somewhere. What is that?
I hope it's the right video. It's
the commercial. Wait. I got to show this now. Okay, let's see. Let me get this up here on the screen. I mean, it looks like a Pop-Tart. Could be some kind of cereal. Hang on, let me make it bigger.
Oh, you're right.
Look at it. It's a Pop-Tart with legs. All right, let's get through this commercial so we can get to the other thing. Go Pop-Tarts, go! Oh, they're going to clash. New Pop-Tart. Oh.
Some like them on an ice cream sandwich. Eat them how you like them.
Pop-Tart, crazy!
All right, this is really kind of important to understand. This is Umau. They say this basically is our region in the solar system. Okay. It came in from who the hell knows where. But I'm going to tell you what that is.
Mau.
The three-eyed atlas is what he's calling the Mau.
Yeah, a Mau.
A Mau. Huh.
Yeah.
All right, Sparky, thanks. Oh, he's still listening. Okay. Okay, we'll go.
That is biology, just as all of these others are. I'm going to explain it to you right now. Okay, the biggest bang for the buck is Bennu, and we went from Earth to Bennu, back to Earth with a chunk of it, and here is that chunk. All right, just so you know, here's where these things are in our solar system. The sun here, Earth, Psyche is over there, 67P is out here, and Umau is out there. Now, Umau, they say, came from out of our region in and is slingshotting back, I guess, out. I'm not sure what they think about that, but I do know what it is. And I know what that is. I know what this is, and I know what Earth is. And they are not as advertised. Ooh. This is what they brought back from Bennu. They say that there's no contamination here, absolutely clean. I agree with that. And this white stuff is phosphates, and they're in layers. There's a white layer here, then these blocks, then another white layer, then more blocks, and then block, and you can see some form of a structure in here. I know what this is very, very clearly, and I know what phosphates are very, very clearly, and I will show you, and you will as well. All right, I want you to look carefully at this. We've got a layer of what I call membrane, which is phosphates, a layer of sarcomeres, which are muscle, which it is. Laminated over the top of that is another layer of phosphates, because every membrane is made of phosphates. And these are the muscle sarcomeres in a close-up. That's what muscle is made of, these little blocks. And they found DNA, RNA, all the chemical signatures, and not only that, so now we're seeing an actual body part. That's a chunk of meat, which is muscle in our heart. And I'll show you, there is no question about this. That's the same thing right there, only this is on Earth from a heart attack victim. And these are the sarcomeres, and on top of the top and below of each sarcomere is the phosphate layers. And that's why they can slip so easily. And the coefficient of friction on synovial stuff, which is this synovial juice on each of these, is almost, there is nothing even close to how slippery that stuff is. And that's another thing you got to think about in biology, is how slippery these things are. You have to exercise things to keep them pulled. That's a whole other issue, because this is kinetic. All right, kinetic. That means it's being pulled. It's under tension. It turns into a very, very, very sloppy fluid. Before that, static, it'll start to lock up on it. See, 0.01, and it goes way out to 0.003. So you got to stay moving around. Anyway, that's a whole other issue. But there's nothing that's by itself. So we're seeing the sarcomeres. We're seeing the phosphate layers. That's a heart. They came back from a heart, and it is a heart. It's quite easy to see, and so is psyche.
Oh, well, commercial.
Our global economy is on the brink of collapse. I can't.
All right, so there it is. Here's your heart muscle.
We don't know.
There's your heart muscle from psyche. I mean, from Bennu, which is Bennu is right there, and there's the heart valves right here. There's one here, and there's the big, big one is right here. And this one here is not as easily to make out as a heart, but it's quite, you know, if you're a heart surgeon, you look at it and you say it's a crusted over heart. You can't miss it. They pop right off. I'll show you exactly how it does it. And they all do it. This is Bennu. I mean, the other one was Bennu. This is psyche. That's I think it's 170 miles wide at the widest. 170 miles. That's a tube.
I have to share something with you, Chad.
Mm-hmm.
So I just got a message from Glenn. He says Sportscat Daily Gazette is replaying right now on Dare Talk Radio with 10,000 listeners.
Wow.
And it is crashing the other stations because we have hit the listener cap. Well then.
Congratulations.
Good job.
Congratulations.
Good job,
Yes.
guys.
Yes.
Sorry, I just had to share that.
That is beautiful news.
Right?
Coming out. That's a tube coming out. These are valves, heart valves. There is not a surgeon on earth that does heart surgery that would not understand this. These are the colors of blood, the red, the yellow, and the black. This is the tendon that locks the muscle so that the heart can do its constrictions. This is all biology, and that's a tube. That's a tube. There's no mistake here. And this is a true picture. This is no artist rendition. You see this? I showed you that tendon wrapped around her. This stuff here, the plumbing at the top, is literally glued. It's just basically glued on there. And when that comes off, you end up with this. That's
you do.
exactly
I've seen that.
No difference whatsoever. And they have that stuff in their hands, and it is sarcomeres right there with the phosphate surprise. Wow, these layers of phosphate, what the hell's going on there? And these are sarcomeres. These are muscle sarcomeres. There is just no question about this. It's undeniable. And these are...
I can honestly say that if that came from space, wherever that is, well, we have body parts floating around space.
Yeah.
Just like we have them in the mountains. And wow. Yeah.
The sarcomeres in a heart on Earth, and it has the phosphate layers, the same, identical, same thing. No difference whatsoever. All right, 67P and Bennu, they're both hearts. This is a hip joint. So they're just exactly right there, same thing, identical. I'll show you. And there's, you have the artery, you have all that stuff. It broke about here. They break in various places, but that one is there. Now, let's look at it as it's gassing off. You see that? That's an artery. The only reason these things are gassing off is because they're being cooked. It's like they're being cooked on a grill, only it's just radiation that's cooking them. And it's got to get down into where the red blood, where you got a lot of gas conversions going on. And it's just like smoke coming off your barbecue grill. Well, there's not enough oxygen to combust. These are shooting out from the little, blood vessels. And that one there is the artery. And this is that hip joint. And this goes back to 2015.
Wow.
So this has been going on a while. I try to contact everybody about this. So that's a hip joint, and it's blowing out smoke. And if you look at it close up here, you can actually see the bundles where the muscle was. And that's just blood cells primarily running off. And these little stripes here, that's tendon. And this bundle right here is a bundle of muscle. Because that's got to pull this way, pull that way, and so forth. There's a lot of action going on in your hips. If you're...
I take offense to that. I ain't had no action in my hips in so long. I not anymore. Sorry, just had to say that.
2026 is on its way, Brenda.
And I will still be sitting here by myself.
I don't know. I think you're getting kind of famous.
Only on radio, so that's good. All right, here we go.
Moving around good. Now, this artery, I showed you the smoke coming out of there, or the juices boiling out. It's almost 500 feet across. And all these little balls there, they call them dragon balls. Those are little balls, every one of those is a blood vessel that goes in to service the muscle and all the other tissues that are around there. So that's this one here, that's 67P. I showed you where it is in this. Now, they went up to Bennu, picked this up, the muscle. I showed you that. I showed you Bennu. Now, what about a Mao Mao? Well, here it is right here.
Atlas 3A or Atlas.
All right, hang on. Chad, I have Glenn on the phone. He said
Go ahead.
Put him on speakerphone because he said it's breaking news. I don't know what's
Got it.
Okay,
Got it.
Go ahead.
All right, so my phone is lighting up from the Australian radio station. We have just crashed their servers. Our episode on 8/11 has got 15,000 listeners on one station and 5,000 listeners on the other.
Wow.
And it is crashing their servers.
Oh my goodness.
Yes.
Should we tell them we're sorry?
No, they're quite happy. But he had to come in it's their weekend over there. It's their Saturday afternoon. And he's had to come in to keep things from overheating and to back stuff up to keep it running.
Oh my gosh. Wow.
So that's why I called you. That's the
Okay.
breaking news.
Well, this is what I'm going to tell you. We have to figure something out with Channel 12 because we can't leave Australia.
No, it ain't happening.
Okay, good.
So,
All right, let me get back to my show and I will talk to you later.
all right, thank you everybody for indulging me. You can have a chat.
All right, bye.
Bye.
They're driving us crazy. They want us on TV too. Like, oh my God.
I'm just going to say this isn't what you all think it is. It's a finger.
It's a finger. It's a
It's
finger.
a finger.
Okay, let's get back to the finger.
And what is a Mao Mao? I can tell you exactly what is a finger. Now, this came from out of our solar system. So is our solar system just the only place where there's biology? No. This is a finger. Now, you say, oh, Roger, that's not a finger. Well, let's take a look at that accusation, because I say, yes, it is a finger. And this right here at the very tip is grip skin. Just like on your own finger. You got a leathery sort of out. That just peels right off. Starting right there, you have an apical tuft. I'll show you in some anatomical shots. And then this white strip coming down, and all the little fibers right here is where the joint is for the fingertip. That's the knuckle right there. Up here you have another one, but you don't see it quite. This is the main one.
The government is banning this $39 electric lighter next month, and this is your last shot to get the original high-powered version. There's a new next...
This is just a flexor type thing. This one here really does some work. And the other side of it invests the same way, and then that white comes all the way down over the top, see? All the way down like that. Over the top of the finger on the other side. On the bottom, you have some tough stuff too, but not like over the top. And then when it comes to the knuckle right there, that's where the tendons come in across the top. That's a vein, and that's the artery. That is a finger, and I showed this to anatomist people, and nobody has disputed that whatsoever. If you can find somebody to dispute it, I want to know why. That is grip skin right there. Now, this came in from some other area in the universe, I don't know where. So I would say the universe is homogeneously biological. I thought I showed you this, but maybe not. I just wanted you to be sure to understand these membranes, like they brought back from Bennu, are primarily made of phospholipids, contain a phosphate-linked hydrophilic head. That's every layer is made of these phosphate-linked particles, and it's a double layer which protects you from whatever's out there from inside, and selectively lets things in and out. Very sophisticated phosphate groups on both every layer, and that's what they found. They called it the phosphate surprise. All right, I showed you the samples from Bennu. Here's what they have to say. A phosphate surprise, that's that white stuff, and those are the membranes. Analysis of Bennu unveiled intriguing insights into the asteroid's composition, dominated by clay minerals, which we are 100 pounds of clay. Anyway, some of us more, some of us less. But it's dominated by clay, particularly serpentine, which is nothing more than flesh. The sample mirrors the type of rock found at mid-ocean ridges on Earth. Yes, because that's the same thing. Where material from the mantle, the layer beneath Earth's crust, encounters the water, they're washing down into the sarcomeres. Yes, Earth is the same thing. This interaction doesn't just result in clay formation, it also gives rise to a variety of minerals like carbonate, iron oxides, which is blood, iron sulfides, which is a product of blood, but the most unexpected discovery, the presence of water-soluble phosphates. These compounds are components of biochemistry for all known life on Earth today, and they refuse to discuss this with us or me. Okay, shocker du jour. Psyche, which I showed you, the heart, is a potato-shaped object about 173 miles, which is 280 kilometers by 144 miles. The thing is basically round, but the longest is...
Hey, I got a question, Chad.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, you know how Susie was talking about the face in the moon?
Yes, we're going to show that next.
I was going to say, what if that's a heart?
We're going to show that right after this. Yeah, that's the picture I sent you as well, I believe.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, so we'll pull that up.
All right.
173 miles, 280 kilometers. Now, this is Stefan Burns, and he's talking about this absolutely enormous, something half the size of the sun. Well, they're talking about the particles and so forth, but they're estimating it to be only 50 kilometers. That's chump change compared to this guy here. It's 280. It's like 5 times or somewhere in that area. Anyway, and they're showing it as a metal asteroid, meteorite, whatever you want to call it. And it's supposedly coming in just as Oumuamua did from outside our solar system, and it's gassing off, and they're going to try to figure out what it is. All right, I have a meteorite right here. Came through.
Yeah. So now it's maybe at 29, I believe it was.
29. Hang on. 29 minutes?
I'm so sorry, Brenda. Give me 1 second. I think it was 21 minutes, maybe.
Okay. 25, 4, 3, 2, 1, 3, 2, 1. We'll go just.
Let me see.
A little bit.
Just before this. Yeah, before all of this. Okay. Keep going. Maybe right there.
There?
Yeah.
This pisses me off.
Yeah, me
they
too.
strip table salt down to 2 minerals, call it healthy, and then wonder why.
Let it play.
Nothing. And I have all these things in my possession, in my hands. I have other ones here. Here's a tiny lung. They come big, they come small, they go every different size. And not only that, this here, in the microscope, you can see the flap. There's a little flap on every single lung that attaches it in the body. And this one has it too. And it's also magnetic because it's smelted coming through. And this one's just tiny. Now, so there's big ones, there's small ones. We live in a biological universe. And here's the moons. That's biology right there. That was attached. That's what's called a tendon enthesis. It's a ball that locks in your body somewhere, and a little strap comes out. It's the same ball as this one here. Same as this, only this one's a little blown off. But that's where that.
Okay.
Because that's a tendon ball, and it's a moon.
That's what yeah.
You have to see those through a microscope in our bodies.
Right.
And you have to look at that through a telescope. So it gives you, I mean, those tendon balls are tiny. You know, now on these giant dragons that we're about to see, you know, in the flesh, because I live in Oregon, there's the Mars blueberry balls, you know, on the beaches and stuff.
Yeah.
And that's what this is one of those floating in space from what Susie talks about, you know, the War of the Heavens that took place, literally.
Right.
And how huge are these things? Wait till we see the face that she sent me, though, from behind the moon. That one was pretty interesting. Okay, this is only 3 minutes that we're playing this part, and then we're done with video.
You know, yeah, when he brought that up and being close like that,
yeah,
and he said that, it went click in my mind. I was like, oh, he is so right. Because remember, I went to school for 2.5 years for my nursing license. And we were taught a bunch of different things about anatomy and different stuff like that. And so it never dawned on me before till he brought that out plain. And I looked and I'm like, wait a minute. So yeah. Oh, so the world we live on is not what anybody thinks it is. Everybody's lied to us. We are walking around on giants, people.
Yep.
Just saying.
It would have come out of the top. No, I don't know. That could have come from a fingertip. I could have come from anywhere. And everything that locks you into something else has to have one of these balls. They're the enthesis. I'm going to leave it at that. So I'd like to hear from somebody. Look at this one here. Yeah. That rim around her, I think this is Io. And here's some of them have 2 places that lock in, some of them only have 1. And this one is a different style, has a ridge around it. And they lock in, sometimes they lock into bones, sometimes they lock into tendons, sometimes they lock into other forms of tissue. And when they do, sometimes they'll have a ring around them like this one does. And sometimes they'll have more than one strap, because some of these balls are just stone. In your body even. I don't know if they need, I'm sure they need to be taken care of in some manner. There's got to be some fluids that enter in and out, I would think. But I can't tell because these are the Moki marbles and the Mars blueberries. They're just stones. When they're done and eroded, all that's left is a hard stone. See this? I showed you where they attach like that and they break right off here. And they usually have a center little spot, which I had shown you. That's it right there. This is basically identical to that. And all those little pock marks are not there from impacts. Those are there for anchors. That's inside of flesh, so it won't be pulled out. If it's smooth, it just could pull right out. When they're like this, they don't come out of there. The straps will break, and that can be extremely painful. Trust me, I know firsthand. Now, once they erode, they're just stone balls left over. And then, of course, the mud that they were embedded in just washes away. This is on Earth. These are called the Moki marbles. They're in Utah, Arizona, but they're also on Mars, too. They're called the Mars blueberries, identical. There is nothing that is in biology. And here's what they look like sometimes. There's different configurations of them.
Okay.
All right, Stefan Burns is talking about plasma.
Is that good?
Yep.
Okay.
Now, is the anatomy on Mars, the geology, biology on Mars, the same as we're finding here on Earth? Because they're not really on Mars and they're taking pictures of our deserts here on Earth. I don't know.
Right?
You know, so there's more to this, but this opens up a lot more than what we're being handed, you know, as far as what we're living upon. And so did you want to go ahead and take a look at that face looking behind the moon?
Yeah. I think I've seen that before.
I don't know what this is about, but it is. I've seen things like this before, so I don't doubt it. Like being shown on.
Let me bring it up here. Try that. Okay. I have seen these before. I haven't figured out how they're doing this. I don't know if it's, you know, it's hard to say anymore with stuff, but yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Eyes, nose, head, cheeks, chin, mouth. Yeah.
So it's just like it puts perspective on things, especially when you get into like what we've been talking about before, you know, because this is the foundation of what you could look further into, you know, like the architecture we looked into was technology. That technology was something you could look further into and see examples of it in architecture and stuff like that. Now with this, you can go around you within your own environment because everything is biology. And so you can, you know, it's maybe been eroded or
Susie has sent me 50 million pictures.
She sent me some too, and I've been wanting to, look at them.
Stop, Susie, stop. I'm not going to be here for 4 hours tonight.
Lots of evidence of giants and those things, you know, which is quite exciting. Now,
Ooh.
I mean, it gets into like, okay, let's say Jupiter, like they say all the planets are gods. I guess.
Well, yeah, supposedly they're like named after him or something.
God or something, yeah, you know. And if you get to Jupiter in the red spot, and they call it a storm that's just been there forever, and it's like 300 miles wide, and it just swirls around. And here, I can send you a picture of it if you want a picture of it. And it's a vagina. And so it's a vagina. It's not a storm, because you can look at it. I'm not an expert at this, but you can
Okay, hang on.
tell that it is. And according to lore, the god Jupiter gave birth to one of these planets. I don't remember, sorry, Saturn or something like that. And it spins in the opposite direction because it's going to spin this way. So as it came out of the birthing canal there, that red spot, I mean, what are these planets? You know, to have something like that as a body part, you know, are we, it's all anatomy, I guess.
So the ring around Saturn, is that gas?
No, I don't know, because it gave birth to Saturn, or one of them spinning, and Venus, maybe it was Venus. I don't know. Sorry, I should look. I need a better memory.
Okay.
But
If you
the
find
planet
one, let me
spins
know.
one way, so as the planet came out, it spun it the other way, if that makes sense, because it'll spin like this, instead of the same way. So it's the one planet that spins the opposite direction, and so that's according to these legends, you know, that are allegedly legends.
Wow.
When they're talking about the heavens and everything.
I know that Susie did send.
Mhm.
Actually, this one picture is interesting.
Nice.
Let me find it. Let me find it.
Because I wouldn't mind hopping on Google Earth in a minute and finding those things that they were
Yeah,
talking about, and I can show you those.
because we were going to do that. We were going to dig into Google Earth.
And I got that on my screen pulled up already.
I don't know if you can see this very well, but look at this. Can you see that? I can't make that bigger. But
Yeah.
it looks like the body with the arms, but this here, but if you look in the hand, is it holding its own head?
I know. Yeah.
Or is that like the Romeo, or not Romeo and Juliet?
I think he was flipping them off, to be honest. Is what
Turn me into stone, will you?
Yeah.
Oh
It's
my
kind of
God.
sad whatever happened. I mean, I know they were atrocities or whatever, but you know, everything has its own
Well,
identity. And a lot of times they would take their babies and you could see the mother holding the
so
baby right as they died, or there was some people were copulating because you could see the
right. I've
petrification.
seen
They were
some
like,
of
"Hey, we
those.
got 5 minutes left.
Now,
Let's go
so
out with a
here it
bang."
is. So they had said that the flood happened to get rid of the giants because they were basically eating all the people. They were eating people.
Well,
Okay.
they ate everything on the planet, and then they started eating the people, I
Right.
believe. Yeah.
Now, I watched a thing the other day that was talking about Mars. And this is what they said. They said, now how they know this, I don't know. You know, we're going to be sending a human to the moon for the first time in
Yeah.
2006 or 26. But they said that inside of Mars, there is water, there is oxygen, there is things in Mars. So the guy said, what if Mars was the first Earth
Mm-hmm.
and it got destroyed or whatever, and they moved everybody here?
Yeah.
So they're talking about, like Elon Musk always says, going to Mars, you know,
Mm-hmm.
making it so people can live there. Are they thinking the same thing now? Are we just going to be bouncing back and forth between Mars and Earth because when one starts getting destroyed, we just move to the other until everybody screws it up and then we move again? I mean, I say take all the screwed up people, go ahead and put them somewhere else.
An
Pluto,
asteroid.
maybe. An asteroid. Pluto, maybe.
There you go. Yeah. Where the werewolves are.
Right. But so I found it interesting when they said that they can prove that there is water that runs just as much water as there is here on Earth. And I thought, so basically we're just bouncing around worlds until one's better than the other.
Yeah. There's also the theory that that's what happened to Atlantis, is that we were well established. Our free energy system was here, and that's where the parasites came from, because their planet was destroyed and they needed to rehome them. And so the Earth agreed to take them on, and they shouldn't have, because once they got here and saw all the free energy and saw all the wealth there was all around, they figured out a way to own it, you know, and so they destroyed the system. So that's what I've heard too, because I've heard Mars women have 3 baby feeders.
Oh,
three boobs.
Yeah, I actually know people that have like 3 nipples.
Yeah.
I can barely handle the 2.
I may be one of them. I don't know. It's either a little mole or a nipple. I don't know.
I can hardly handle the 2 I have. I couldn't imagine having a 3rd. Good Lord, have mercy.
And I think the skin was reddish tone or something like that, as rumors. But yeah, I don't know. That made sense to me though, that they had to be rehomed. And I think our original Earth was like destroyed. Wasn't it a large planet? That's the pieces that we see floating around allegedly. But every single piece of it, asteroid that we've seen so far has been a body part. So, but I think that planet started with an M.
Now, are we sure Three-Eyed Atlas is a finger and not something else if it's a body part?
It has grip skin, so.
Okay. Well. Now hang on a minute, Chad.
Well, it could be something else in the lines of a ship too, you know. I mean, I know where you're
headed. They're saying that it's made of nickel. Now tell me, how do they know it's made of nickel? Somebody go up there and check? No, we can't even get to the freaking moon, liars. Yeah. And they went and checked that Three-Eyed Atlas is nickel. Really? How'd they know that? That's what I'm saying. You cannot believe a damn thing we're told.
No, we don't know. And that's one thing that we have to realize is we don't know, but there's clearly not the narrative we've been fed.
Exactly. Not at all.
And you know, you all like, we are a unique group because we do focus in on this, and it does seem to be tied into evidence, right? You know, these are people, the scientists that are looking into this, that have had it DNA tested and such. You know, oh wow,
look at this thing here.
And now that's a petrified giant.
Arm. Yeah, look,
sure, and you can see it.
It's his hair.
I think there's blood coming out of its leg too when you zoom in on it.
Here.
I remember that one. Yeah.
Wow, and there's his
I don't
arm.
think you can.
Hand, his arm. What? So, but then when you tell people, well, that's what that is. That's a person, and people are like, no, you're just seeing things. You're a crazy person. I think you need to go sit in an asylum somewhere.
Oh, what's that called? The pareidolia?
Yeah. Well, I don't think so, because it's
pareidolia.
These things were not so small, and I can't make them bigger.
And pareidolia would be like what they accuse, you know, seeing things in patterns.
Yeah.
You know, like, so, well, but this has anatomy behind it. It's been tested.
What is it?
Just looked interesting, that splotch. My pareidolia was kicking in on that on that one. And now I am the guy that when I got my IQ tested, spent a half an hour telling him what I was seeing in the ink spot. You know, so I am good at that. You know, I was like, turn it that way. Yep, I see a raccoon eating a fish. Nope, turn it this way. Sasquatch head. Oh, no, turn it this way. I see. You know. So, anyways, but this has actual anatomy connected to it. So,
I woo.
I mean, the war in space. Some of you may know I do have like a connection to the SSP community, and so there has been some memory that I've had, and one of them is of a war in space with technology. I don't know if it was the war, but I do feel like there is either something out there beyond what we're on. Whether it's in this dimension or not, I don't know.
Right.
So it's just the and when you do the or, either it's this or it's that. That's where we get locked into. It could be this and it could be that. So,
Susie
depending
said
on
she found body parts in Russia.
they're
Mostly in Russia.
everywhere. And so the theory behind that is that we have fascia, and that's like this interstitium, or not interstitium, sorry, that's something different. Fascia, which is like a fluid highway that goes through our body, but it's this fascia that wraps around all our organs, and it's like that stuff that you peel off of your chicken breast or whatever, that little thin layer. And that's why everything was able to be preserved, because everything's individually wrapped. Every organ is wrapped in this fascia, and the flesh just melted away into the clay.
Yeah.
I don't think bones really survive very easily either, but
Andy's watching. Hi, Andy. We miss you,
Okay.
Andy. And no, Andy, we only take breaks now on occasions if I need to go to the restroom or something. Other than that, we just don't take them. We keep going through. So yeah. Like silver skin on meat. Yes, Sparky. Yeah. Did you freeze?
Did I know? I'm sorry. No, I'm frozen. I'm frozen because I'm trying to figure something out. Like, trying to figure out how to get to my screen to share.
I know that Steven's done it before, but I don't know if he used. Oh, wait! I hear you. Hang on. Okay. Oh, well. Look at that.
Let me make me small here. Okay, I think that's what I got to do, is make me small here.
Ew. I don't know. I could see it. It was kind of big.
Oh, you could see it?
Yeah, the first time. Oh, wait, there it is.
See what I look like on my iPad.
We have Alter Woo with us tonight.
There we go. Oh, really? Oh, you can see it. Okay. I can see me now. Okay, so this is what we were looking at. Let's zoom out so we can see where we are.
We are way over here.
That's Africa. There's Morocco. There's our dragon, and there's our fish.
Yeah.
Okay. And so we saw that. Let's spin it on over. Here is the other dragon. So there's its head. It's got feathers coming out of its head because those are the green mountains, all right?
Can you go down in it just a little bit?
Yeah. There's its snout. We will. And there's its neck. There's its little belly.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
This little anus is up here near Washington, D.C., I think. That's what I like to say. I don't know.
Oh, poop on D.C.
Yeah.
Dragon. Poop on D.C.
There's its anus. Okay, so now we got to go to click in.
What happened? I lost Chad. Chad. Woohoo. Yep, we lost Chad. We'll have to wait for him to come back. Apparently, Google Earth is like, no, you are not looking at this. I don't think so. But yeah, thanks, Sparky. Yeah, it's fun. Chad Chad does a lot of digging around and locating things. So, yeah. There's Chad.
You see,
We lost you for a minute.
you see me now?
Yeah, I can see you now.
I was trying to log back in.
Oh God.
Dude, I didn't do anything.
Oh wow.
All right.
Really? Okay, let me put
Do you
this
see
up.
the dragon now?
Can you see me now? Let's see. Oh.
Oh, I did go there. Okay. Sorry. There's a delay on my iPad, so I'm back right now.
Okay. The snout.
Snout. It's spitting something out here into the Gulf. That is really gross looking stuff if you dive down in there in the Gulf. And then all its fluids have run out of it since it's died. But there's its little beards that hang down off of its jaw. There's this little eyeball. These are feathers because this dragon had huge feathers, Quetzalcoatl.
Okay.
And so those mountains, if you look at them, there's like a large feather. And so, you know, people live up in those hollers and everything because feathers have like all those little ridges. And
Yeah.
and they're and they grow things really, really green. This is its head. This is its neck curving around. It curves around like a snake, and then this is its body up here.
Oh wow.
Going on up.
And then it poops on DC.
And poops on DC. So we'll get in closer so you can see the face.
Okay. Hopefully, if you don't zink out again.
Yeah.
That was weird.
You can see the beards. All dragons have the beards. Yep. There's this head. This is its little. It's a river. I don't know. So okay. Its eye is there, and its feathers come out here on its head, and we'll look up a picture of Quetzalcoatl. Let me see if I can even think. Koala. I totally misspelled it, y'all. So, oh well.
That's it right there, ain't it?
I don't know.
Oh.
I don't think so. So, okay. Head of the dragon.
The eyes, the head.
You can see its
neck.
Its neck. Now, there's a bunch of caves down here. This is Kentucky. This is up in those areas. And then you get into its body area over here. So then this is one that Roger found. It's called Scorpzilla. That's what he's called it. And it's the biggest one of them all. So we'll have to kind of zoom out and then zoom in. But this is it right here. That's its tail. That's the scorpion part of its tail in the Aleutian chain. That's its tail going down. This is its head, I guess, down here in its body. And so that's where I live, is along this beast right here. So we'll start zooming in so we can get a better, because its eye is Mount Vernon.
Oh. Well, I knew Mount Vernon had to be good for something. Dragon eye.
Where it gets interesting is, you know, we're going up its body here. It's long. And then its anus is called Mount Spur. And that's a volcano in this area that is spewing out shit.
Yeah. It's
right
like
now.
like the other guy said in the video, it's pooping.
Oh. That's its tail. And that's its little pincher, and that is supposed to lock back into here. But it's been engaged, and it's squirting out its fluid all over here.
Wow.
And then let's take a quick look at now there could be giants on top of this. So it's just, Now, down here in the bottom of is where we get the snakehead that
Yep, there he is.
eye and the coming out of the earth and all that good stuff.
Yep.
And then what the heck? Okay, so when he was talking about this is another theory of Rogers, this dragon right here.
Yeah.
And where its neck broke. Let's geek out on that for just a second because I see it and now it's off screen right there.
Yep.
So that was the black blood, and this is all the red blood running down, and then it just kind of made its way out into the ocean. Now, what he says is something this large. What would a parasite look like on it? Probably much like the sea monsters that were depicted on our old world maps.
Oh, yes.
That were eating ships and sailors out here in the ocean. So what they said this body is decaying, let's get the heck out, and then they swam out into the ocean. That's a theory, and I buy into it. And I think that's why, where some of those things have come from in our oceans. And now I'm going to get out of this screen and I'm going to stop my share screen.
Okay. I might have to do it. Hang on.
I'm almost an expert at it now. It's my second time doing that. Yeah.
When Steve does it, he's so fluent with it that a lot of times he'll use, I don't know if he's using his OBS or not when he does it.
And if I had a touch screen on this computer, that would make it a lot easier too. I had to use a mouse to kind of navigate around. So, yeah. So according to the words of Jesus in the Dead Sea Scrolls, once you discover that you're living, once you wake up, you'll discover you're living on a corpse.
Right.
A giant corpse.
Right.
And it'll first, I don't think he said scare you, but at first frighten you, and then it'll awe you. Put you in awe. So
unless you are somebody like us who are used to this stuff, and then
yes,
nothing surprises us.
Because listen to this. I mean, what is it? The view? The View in the morning?
Oh, good God. What about it?
Despicable show.
Oh,
that is my pile of shit right there. That is, like, if there's anything that I see as a pile of shit, is that show. And the equivalent of. And
Glenn,
like Two Girls in a Cup, like shit and I'm sorry, that's so I'm like, but this show is just really obnoxiously not my thing. And she said on there, oh my God, he believes in dragons, towards something that somebody said.
Yeah.
And
yep. I know.
And they're not ready for it. The real mainstream is not ready for this.
Yeah. The other day when Glenn was going over birthdays and Whoopi's came up, and he goes, yeah, we don't really care about her. And I said, yeah, her mom should have swallowed. And it stunned him, and he was like, what? He started laughing. I was like, did I say that out loud? I didn't mean to.
What a vile show.
I know it.
But that's an example that I liked, because I'm like, that's how mainstream projects this. We don't even want to try and prove or say, hey, listen to us, you all, because we got some evidence. They don't care.
No.
They got an opinion of us that's, to the moon and back.
They just say that we're crazy, or all this other stuff. And before my puppy ends up on an orphan train, I'm just saying. But I think that now it's a little harder for them to hide things because there are more people that know more now. And, I mean, it, and my thing is why'd they hide it all? And somebody said, well, that's because they didn't want people knowing that things that were in the Bible were real.
It's
Okay.
a free energy thing that they're controlling right
And
now.
that is their main thing. Hi, Sage. That's their main thing
Mhm.
because we had access to free energy, and it's like water. Water should be free. We shouldn't be paying for it either. Um, but we have access to free
Yeah.
energy, and they can't bank on that. So yeah.
And were these parasites from Mars originally? Because they call them parasites. I mean, these
Well,
I I don't
I
have a
would like
face to them yet, except
I
for
would like to know where, like, the reptilians now, they said that they were already here. So if we originally were part of Mars, okay, and that planet was destroyed for whatever reason, and we came here. So they say that those reptilians were the first ones here. So did we invade them? I mean,
yeah.
I'm not going to stick up for them because they're nothing but flesh eating, stinky things that shouldn't be here that walk around amongst us all the time, and a lot of people don't even know it. Now, they can't get by me because for some reason God gave me a gift to be able to smell them even if they look in human form. So I've seen them before. I've been face to face with them before. And are they just did we just shove them underground and take over?
Mhm. That's what I've
I mean,
heard.
I guess if I was a reptilian and you did that to me, I'd probably be pretty pissed off too.
Yeah,
But
I get it.
you know,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
so because I also heard that there really in all reality were no white people on this planet on Earth until 1721.
They came
I
out of the
believe they
Caraco
said.
Mountains. I believe that was a article I read in National Geographic once as a child.
Yeah.
Yeah, they
And
came out of the Caracas Mountains,
hi Rain.
and they
Yeah,
considered it a mutation.
yeah. So I haven't had a chance to really dig in to find out about that and exact dates. Um, but I did hear that and I was like, huh. But we all know now my ex-husband, of course, him being him, he looked at me one day and he said, Jesus is black.
Yeah,
I said, well, that's not what the pictures say, but I don't know. I wasn't there. But he was Hebrew
yeah.
and had darker skin, but the popes and all of them, they don't they put him white.
Well, the image of him, I think, came from one of the popes, didn't it? It was the son of one of
Yes,
the popes, one of the most evil, and so it's
yes.
hard. And then I noticed they've been making his hair a little blonder ever since, and a little eyes a little greener, bluer. But I don't think that is what it was. Even here in America, I think it was. They're trying to make it look like blacks came from across the seas and were sold out by their own kind and all that stuff. But there were the Moors. I think there's a whole history of the Moors, and they were the ones that built these buildings. Um,
Yeah.
they were the natives here. I would like to. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. I mean, we got
But
to dig deep into all this stuff, and we
and
will.
they have reset. They've reset for decades. Done resets. Every time the
Yeah.
slightest thing starts to seem like people are catching on, they
Yeah.
wipe things out and start all over again. They can't do that this time. They can't do it. There are too many people that know, too many people that are aware. Their biggest problem right now is America. And why? Because we have the biggest civilian army in the world because we're armed. and they can't get that from us, and something is whispering. What is that? I hear whispering in my headset, and I don't know why. Okay, it's gone. What's that? All right, you guys, we know. Government, get out of my computer.
I thought too. Not in mine, but from your end.
I'm like, all right, government, get out of my ear. Leave us alone.
We're being legit here. Like, it went a little too deep. You said you got an email, so you know sometimes the conversation can go too deep, but we've kind of went away from that into something else that seems to be safer.
Well, my email was the show that we did on Erica Kirk. I was warned to stay off that subject, so we will stay off that subject. We will not recover it. But we're talking about the Earth. We all know giants existed here. We know they did. They died here. We see them in the rocks. We look at.
So yeah, well, a lot of our cave systems.
Yes.
Are kind of vaginas, you know, and so, or not kind of, but are, and you can go up into them.
Kind of.
Or a nooses, you know, but I mean, you know, they had anatomy, so, but you could walk up into them and and all of a sudden you're in this huge cavern, the womb, or you're walking up through the intestines, you know, and they say those stalactites and stalagmites that are formed from the minerals dripping is because of the enzymes that are still in the walls. The enzymes didn't get turned into stone, you know, they're still processing and digesting. And that's why it's dripping down. That's also what's going on in Yellowstone, is that's a bunch of intestines. If you look, he shows a set of lungs, and he shows, I think the spleen is what Yellowstone is, and it's all bubbling and, you know, all those gases and all that stuff that's going on. If you look at the 3D image of Yellowstone, I can pull it up if you want, or send it to you from this. And
I've actually been to Yellowstone.
Me too. So beautiful. But those hot pots, those geysers have bacteria in them, and they're like, how does bacteria survive these temperatures? Well, they were from the anatomy of that's the gut system. And he says, if you think that's a mess, you know, what's going on top with the lungs and the spleen, who knows what's going on down below where the real stuff is, you know, all the rest of the guts.
True. And it's like Devil's what is it? Devil's Mountain, the one that they made Close Encounters on. That was a tree. That ain't no mountain. That was a tree. Okay, a tree. And but you know what? There's a lot of people, you cannot open their eyes to this stuff, no matter what you do, or what you say, or what you show. They're like, nah, crazy. If my daughter was watching this show right now, she'd be laughing her butt off, saying, "Oh, what has my mom got herself into now?" You just can't. What can you do?
Yeah.
What can you do?
Because it's their belief system that's so installed from Disney, from kindergarten, from you know, whatever it is,
college.
That's, you know, that you can't allow your mind to go there. However, unfortunately, there's boots on the ground, and that's what I love to say, and we're all walking around looking at the geology that's actually biology around us,
right?
You know, and I see a lot of it because I'm right on the coast, so I get like you know, I get the bluff lines. It cuts right down through all the different layers of all of that, and then I like to look around as I travel and see what the different things might be, and yeah. So there's lots to look at in regards to nature. It kind of takes the magic away from things. I got to say, I got to rediscover that again, you know, as you get scientific with it, like the wonder in it, because there's still God flowing through all of this bullshit.
Yeah.
Or whatever this is on this planet, you know, this mockery of whatever he created up there in the heavens, in the physical world, or this physical representation of that, you know what I mean? He's got to be flowing through it not separate from it, you know? So I do want to tune into that part of nature and not just look at it as like, wow, this is fucked up.
Yeah,
There's
I really,
cryptids,
I really
you know?
miss like going outside and walking around barefoot in the grass and going to the beach and walking around barefoot in the sand and
Being naive.
all that stuff.
I miss
Look,
being naive
I I I felt
and innocent. Yeah.
better. I mean, our earth is full of vibrational and life, it, and people don't really understand. When you tell somebody go touch grass and go hug a tree, it's for a good reason. Sit there for a little while,
Yes.
clear
Oh,
your
yeah.
mind, take a deep breath, and just hold that tree. Hope
Yeah.
there's no ants on it trying to crawl on you, but
Yeah.
hold that tree.
Yeah.
I mean,
You can put your hand on it and just sit there, but you have to kind of zone out. You kind
yeah.
of got to go ambient, you know.
And we were
Um,
healthier. We were healthier when I was a kid. We were healthier because why? We played outside in the grass. We climbed trees. We did this stuff. We didn't sit in a house, not being out in the sun, playing on computers and in front of a TV all day long.
no,
That did not happen.
we had our
We had our
imagination.
imagination. We had friends. We had things, bicycles and roller skates and skateboards we could break all of our bones on. And I mean, it was just a glorious time to be a kid. Now these kids, and I kind of wonder, they blame certain other things for the problems that the kids have nowadays, but I kind of wonder if it has a lot to do with them not being outside, them not being in the sun and not being barefoot in the grass and, getting dirty, playing in the dirt and the mud, you know? I
Yeah.
mean, that should never have changed with being part of a kid. That was just sure you had to take a bath at night before you went to bed
Oh,
or you
yeah.
had to wash your feet and your hands, but
Yeah.
you know what?
For
It
dinner.
was well worth it. you know?
Hmm.
But yeah, so everything on this earth has got a purpose, and I believe when I see the giant mountains that look like a turtle that are 10 times bigger than somebody's house, you know? Yeah, I think we had really big things, but they sure the hell weren't dinosaurs. They were dragons. Dragons. That's what they were. We never had dinosaurs. We had dragons. And I know that somebody had said that, when they do the digs and they find big bones, they make those bones in the Smithsonian and other places of like dinosaurs. I
Yep.
think they use some of the real bones, but I think that most of that's castor.
Hmm.
Um, I think they find giant bones and those get put away so nobody can check them out. So,
Tucked away in the bottom of the ocean somewhere.
yeah,
Or in their basements, I don't know. There's
yeah.
certain rooms you just can't go
And
into when
and
you're
I
in
think
museums.
I think when you sit and you look at the giants and dragons, I don't think that all dragons were bad. I think that some of them were pet-like, you
Okay.
know, like I don't think they were all bad. Of course, you had your ones, but then they're an animal. Not all dogs are bad either until you teach them to be that way. So
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't look at things like everything that was put on this earth back in those times that died, that everything was bad. I cannot look at that because I still see humanity in a lot of things. And I mean, look, I'm the one that'll run up behind a snake and grab it by its tail and toss it out of the way. So, let it live. Keep spiders away from me now. I will blow those things. I will blow those things off the concrete. But
No, I'm the other way around. I will catch a spider, but I don't want to touch a snake. I don't like the feel of
I
it.
used to own one, so I had
Nope.
a red-tailed boa way back in the
Mhm.
day, and she was really nice, but she did not like men. She never bit a female, but I'll tell you what, get a man anywhere near her and she would bite them like it was and not want to let go. I used to have to stick my finger in her mouth and kind of try to pry her open because she just did not like men. But I think she was trying to tell me something. I just didn't listen. Who knew? But yeah, so we think that it might be body parts in space. That's really interesting. I never thought about that. Because I'm here to tell you, we could have an outer space and still be under a firmament.
Right?
Okay?
There's
Because
an
it
and
is
in here.
so
Yeah.
huge, so huge.
And we're so small.
Let me tell you what happened, Jason. So when I was a kid, I decided to get a little part-time job. When I lived in California, there was a pet store that was looking for a little bit of help. So I went in to go and help. And this kid walked in and he wanted a tarantula out of the tank. And I was like, huh, okay. So I put the box down in the tarantula aquarium. I took the net and I turned it upside down to where it was just the handle. And I was kind of tapping its butt, trying to scoot it into the box. That damn thing jumped on me. I flung it across the store. We couldn't find it. I screamed. I peed myself. So, no, sir. I do not do spiders, especially big ones. I took out a camel spider that my ex-husband brought home from Iraq in my front yard with a 38, a shovel. I'm telling you, this thing would not die. But yeah, so
And was it the video you just sent me that said that they were storing dragons down in Antarctica? Or is that something else I watched maybe?
I don't know.
Yeah, somebody was saying that like, "Oh yeah, we can't go over the, you can go to Antarctica, but you can't go onto it and into it. That's where they're storing
Right.
that there's still a dragon. Everybody has their rumor of what's down there and going on, but it would
Yep.
seem like we're on something much larger than what we're being told.
We are.
Yeah, right?
Because like I said, I I don't believe that we are on a spinning ball, and there's been a lot of people that have proven that there is no way that that's possible. So
Yeah.
I also believe that we are, and see, not only do we have our ice wall, but beyond that, there's another ice wall, and beyond that, there's another ice wall. So, and there, if you look down in through the map, you can see different little continents and different places throughout each one.
Mm-hmm.
So we're lied to about everything. We don't really know our own real history. But for all we know, half of the wars from way back when there's nobody else alive to talk about it aren't true. A lot of the times that we went to war, both sides knew. Both sides were involved. Both sides got paid. The people that fought lost their lives and thought they were fighting for good. But both countries, heads of country, knew that was happening. They knew it. And they banked on it. And we were lied to. Lied to. Period. 9/11 was done because we wanted that oil. They know they do nothing but lie and lie and lie some more.
Yeah, I mean, like even like Mark Twain was put out he's Illuminati. He put out like that false narrative of Huckleberry Finn and the way things were back in those days, steam ferries, that didn't exist. Cowboys and Indians was written by a German writer. It was fiction, but people really liked it, so they went with it and made westerns and did all that. But I believe it was a German writer that was writing, over in Germany, writing about this made up thing called Cowboys versus Indians.
Yeah.
And
and just so everybody knows, Hitler didn't die. Hitler did not kill himself. He was relocated to Argentina and probably traveled around all over the place and lived until he was old. And Sparky, I lived in Arizona, and we used to have migrating seasons for tarantulas. And you would drive down the road, and they had cotton fields over here, and they were moving towards the cotton field. And they would be jumping all over the place. You'd be running them over, squishing them with your car. They'd get on the windshield, use your windshield wipers to knock them out. And I mean, there was thousands of them. And they would just cross the busy road. They didn't care. I guess whoever made it on the other side was the survivor. There you go. But yeah. So they lie to us about everything. Everything. We didn't win that war. They made a treaty, and we brought all of their scientists over here.
Project Paperclip, right?
Absolutely.
And we put them in our universities. And if you watch The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo, it's based on that.
Yep. Put them in our universities, put them over in Antarctica underground in laboratories to make us little flying spaceships, because they had a lot of technology. Now, where they got it, I don't know, but they had a lot of it, and we wanted in on it. So Germany, Russia, and America made a pact. Then everybody else got into it. That is why there is a base for every place around the world in Antarctica. All of them. China, Russia, all of them. They all have bases in Antarctica. Everybody does. And we're not allowed to go there. Why would you not let somebody go there? Well, you're obviously hiding something. Yep. So it's a sad, sad world that we live in, that they feel like they have to lie about every stinking thing. And don't eat the alien invasion, you guys. It's going to end up being Project Bluebeam.
Okay, and they might be using that finger, as part of that or something. Because what did you just send me the video right before this? I was talking about the 50-year thing. Back in 1977, they were talking about, they had a rock song that was talking about this happening.
And the sad thing about it is they could use Project Bluebeam.
Because we communicated out in 1970, and we received something back, and it says, we'll be there in 50 years. Well, here we are 50 years later, and here comes this finger that's speeding up and slowing down and changing colors.
Yeah. And,
the
sad thing about it is they can use Project Bluebeam, but they can also use drones in those projects, and they could use the lasers and stuff to blow things up, and people will die.
Yeah.
Because we're second-rate citizens. We don't mean anything to the government and the people above. We mean nothing to them. Casualties of war is what they say. And I really believe our founding fathers, that's why they made the Constitution the way that they did, was so that we were never overpowered by a government before, or ever. But somehow down the line, whether it was my parents, my grandparents, their grandparents, got complacent. and allowed the government that is supposed to work for us, not us for them, allowed them to make all the rules, all the judgments, collect all the money, make everything. And that is such a sad thing. And us Americans, we can't even pull our heads out of the fucking sand long enough to unite with each other to take care of this. And I mean, I'm not talking about any kind of civil war, blood in the streets, what have you. No. We all need to get together and march our little happy butts up to our governor's office and say, enough is enough. Enough is enough. If I'm not mistaken, I'm your boss. You work for me. You're fired, you're fired, you're fired, you're fired. Get the hell out. Because we're grown adults here. Now, I do worry about the next generations because of everything that they've been taught. They're gonna sink. They're gonna sink bad. Because why? They don't want to listen to us. We're just old crazy people. We don't know what we're talking about.
Yeah.
They got master's degrees and they got this. Honey, you were taught the wrong things. You were lied to. Lied to. So all I can say is I can hope that one day people will get it and will come together and quit worrying about black or white or, Mexican or, stop worrying about that shit. We are all freaking people. We all bleed the same damn color. We're all the same color inside if you strip our skin off. People are just stupid. Stupid, and they need to stop being stupid. They need to sit down and take a good look at where they live and the people around them, because this is just horseshit. Straight up horseshit. So, I mean, I didn't know if you were coming. You were supposed to let me in. I mean, let me know. Susie, did you want to come up here? Did you have so? We're going to end soon. Susie says, I was a black girl 13 years, generations back. You were or
I was. Yeah, I was black in my last lifetime for sure. I remember it. Being lynched. Ugh.
Really?
Oh yeah.
You have a memory of that?
Yeah, because I did hypnotherapy, remember? And I did past life regression. So
Oh
I
yeah.
also paid for hypnotherapy before that. I wanted to see what it would be like to experience it. So I went and paid for 3 sessions. I had a past life, and then I had another past life regression, and then I had an in-between life regression. And then in school we would kind of dabble in it and stuff. But I had 3 regressions, so I do remember it quite distinctly. It was a cool life. What kind of
Interesting. I've never really had memories of any kind of past life. I have memories of different old places.
Do you want to be hypnotized?
Hell no, I can't.
Come on, I can do it online.
People have tried and tried and tried with me, and
Oh,
I
okay.
cannot.
There are those people.
Yeah.
You might be inferential then, and I can
One
just
time,
get you extra long and get you under.
One time to quit smoking, and I remember everything that he did and everything he said, but
Yeah,
I did quit
you will.
smoking.
Yeah.
But all it took for me to do is get on a plane and take an emergency flight because my mom was having surgery from Ohio to Phoenix, and I stepped off that train and picked up a cigarette. That plane and picked up a cigarette like I never quit. Never quit. It was like, yep, bummed a cigarette off of somebody, and then when I got in the car, I looked at my family and I said, "Okay, take me to I need to go to the convenience store. Where I got to get cigarettes. You quit smoking?" No, I didn't. Apparently I didn't. But yeah. But
It's not a cure, but it can help. It can definitely make it easier to stop, but
what?
it's
I
not
quit
it's
for
not a magic wand.
I quit for like a year and a half before I took that flight. But I did I haven't smoked cigarettes now for a year and 3 months.
Very nice.
And I breathe better, a lot better. And also, if you're going to use vapes, y'all need to really be careful. Do not get the ones that are not made in this country, because they're really bad for you. The one that I use, and I usually only get like mint ones, which opens up my lungs. My doctors are amazed, because before I quit smoking and started doing vapes, they said I had COPD. And now I no longer have it, and they don't know where it went. And I was like, wow. I kicked its ass and took its name. That's
Wow.
what happened. So yeah. So it's I'll tell you. But the nicotine and nicotine is a natural thing that can be good for us in many ways.
Yeah.
And even my doctor turned around and told me, Brenda, you were a heavy smoker during COVID, weren't you? Yes, I was. He said, that's why you didn't get it.
Yep.
He said all of his patients that never got vaccinated and never got COVID were smokers during COVID. I said, well, shucky darns, who knew? Yeah. Call him up. He's like, what are you doing? I said, I have the flu. And he'll call me 4 days later and say, how are you feeling? Oh, I'm fine. I had it 2 or 3 days like normal, and it went away. But I'm a fighter. I don't give up. I have gone through so much, and especially recently, and I just keep fighting through everything. I heal real fast. I'm not sure what goes on with me. I really am not sure, but somebody's got me in their pocket, because no matter what I go through, that last bout when I was in the hospital, and I seriously thought I was just going to die. And I was begging, Father, if I am done on this earth, go ahead, come get me. Because it was horrible what I went through. And within the next couple of days, whatever hit me went away just as fast as it got there. And the doctors had no idea what was going on at all. Nothing. They couldn't even explain it. I keep telling them I'm really, really ornery, and that's why.
No. Somebody's got you in their pocket. I think you got
I'm mean and ornery. Not
yeah.
really. But
I tend to heal pretty fast as well, and
yeah,
not get sick very often.
My doctor tells me he's got this other lady that is the same age as I am, the same birthday. And she says, Brenda, I don't understand. And I said, what? And he says, I have this other patient. She is 58 years old, completely gray, skin falling off, hurts with everything, can barely walk, can barely move. I said, well, I can't walk either, damn it. I got one leg. He goes, that's not what I'm talking about.
Mobility.
He said, I want to see your birth certificate, because I don't think you're as old as you are. He goes, how old do you feel? I said, well, shit, when I was 50, I was still going out clubbing with all the youngins and putting them in a cab at midnight drunk going home. I said, I'll give you 30, boy. I was still running around bouncing my head off of things. I've just been that way all of my life. Rambunctious. I constantly go, go, go. This is the most since I lost my leg in 2016, this is the most in all of my life that I have ever always been home.
Okay.
Yeah. And it kills me. But what can I do? If I'd have lost my left leg instead of my right, boy, I'd be out there in my car driving around all over the damn place.
Now, I do believe they have the technology to regrow it. It's just a matter of them releasing that or not, and I know they're regrowing teeth now. There's that third one, that they
Yeah.
can grow in or whatever. But do you have any prospects of getting like a prosthetic or?
I have one.
Okay.
I have an almost $3,000 prosthetic in there.
Got you. Okay.
The problem with it is when my thyroid went out and I put on all this weight, I'm not that tiny little 114 pounds anymore. So it's harder. Plus, when I had my stroke, I lost my equilibrium, so I can't stand on it.
Oh.
So I have been trying, where I put my thumb in my mouth and I blow real hard and plug my nose to see if my leg will pop out. It's just not working.
No.
It's just not working. Matter of fact, I have a better chance of farting or crapping myself than my leg popping out. I don't know what to say.
Well, I still believe the technology is there. It's just a matter of them releasing it. So hopefully it won't be much longer.
Yeah. A rocket boot. Oh, that'll help me there, Jason. I'll just be flying all over the place.
No, they got these hula hoop things you can put on now. I think that you wear around your waist and you can hover. Like it hovers you so you can go around. Yeah. I've seen it on, I don't know, it may be AI, but I've seen it, and I've seen the lady flying in the air with this thing around her waist,
I could
normal control.
Or like I get so jealous because I see those people that get those, those big, huge rubber balls and you get in the middle of them, the blow up balls, and they roll them down a hill and they go bouncing. I want to do that so bad. I will crawl into one of those things and just yell, "Push me!" It looks so fun. I just want to do it.
I never thought about it.
Yeah. And then they have it where like you go with a group of your friends and it goes downhill and it's got like all these hilly things and your friends run and you go down and get them and for as many of them that you bounce on and knock down, you get points. I was like, I have crazy friends. They'll volunteer. They will. I know it.
This is all in Texas too, right?
No, I don't know where. I know they have one like in the UK. They have a park like that.
Yeah.
But I've been seeing a lot of them, so I don't know if they're putting any out here. I mean, I would like that better than going on a freaking roller coaster ride where your seatbelt could come off and you're going to land on your head somewhere, somebody's car. But that would be fun. I mean, you're insulated. You're not going to get hurt. Hopefully there's a way to stop it so you don't keep rolling and bounce over the wall and end up in traffic. But that might be kind of fun too. I can see the cops. Woo, woo, we're chasing this one-legged woman and a rubber ball down the street.
Yeah.
She won't stop. She's resisting arrest. Yeah, I would just sit there and yell, "Catch me if you can." I don't know. Anyways, well, this was fun. We need to think about what we're going to do next.
Okay.
And we'll get one of those going. And Susie, I don't know if you heard it. Glenn called while we were on the air. Apparently, we broke the algorithms in Australia on the radio on our show. So just saying. Yeah, we have fun on that show. Yeah,
Literally broke them.
Yeah, we did. We had 15,000 listeners on that radio. Wow.
And then 5,000 more.
Yeah,
somewhere else. Yeah.
Well, I
I've been
guess that,
enjoying it.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Sometimes we have slow news days, and then I'll just find stupid stuff to come up to with talk about. I get Glenn laughing. He's like, "Oh my god, this ding dong, that's crazy, bitch." But
That's what we got
and
this platform for. We can go beyond that box.
yes, that's right, beyond our
Which is nice.
box. That's
Yeah.
what we're doing. I don't really like the idea that caves are kind of like vaginas because that doesn't make it sound real good for any of us women. What?
Well, some of them are anuses too, or anuses, but the intestinal tracts, you can crawl in the ear canals, mouth canals. There's all different kinds of.
But it's not. You can't say it's weird because if they were giants, they were their body parts. I mean, what do you say?
And some of these are, titans. They're 2,000 miles long, 2,600 miles long, something like that. Whatever the one in California that went up to Aleutian Chain. Now
Yeah.
it's got to have a digestive tract and a tunnels. The veins after they empty out. That's where a lot of our caverns and underground world come from, I think.
Yeah. Susie says she walked away from 20,000 listeners because of one bad penny. Well, now the pennies have to rest in peace. Because I don't know if anybody else heard, but they are no longer making pennies. And they're squaring everybody's money up. So get nickels. Nickels. It's got to be squared up to 5 cents.
How long is this going to take? Because people have been saving pennies for a long time, like for a
Well,
rainy day.
yeah, like my my stepdad used to have those 5-gallon, the sparklets water bottles
Yeah.
that go on the thing, and
Yeah.
he had 3 or 4 of those full of pennies. And so I'm saying, if you have that, hi Ivy, if you have that, I would take them down to like your nearest grocery store or Walmart that has those change things and dump all those pennies in there
Brenda's
and get the money for them. Huh?
You were frozen for a while for me.
I was frozen? What
Or
the hell was I doing frozen? Oh. Jad, I think it was you.
maybe it was me because I'm
Might have
popping
been.
off and on and I'm not touching anything at all. I got nothing.
Right?
Yeah, I'm
Dang.
just sitting here and it's possessed.
It's possessed.
That whispering thing that you heard earlier,
that freaked me out.
I wonder about, if there's
That
something going
freaked me
on.
out. There was whispering going on. And I'm like, for me, if I hear things talking, I look around because more than likely I've got a spirit that's over here going, "Hey, where am I?"
Okay.
So I heard the whispering. That's why I was looking around. I was like, "Okay, there's nobody in here. What's going on?" My head doesn't normally talk to me, but if somebody wants to whisper sweet nothings in my ear, well, okay. But it was weird. I was like, what is that? I hear whispering. It's not my dog. He's over here snoring to death. Fat boy.
Yeah, there may be some meddling going on.
Yeah, probably. I probably. I think I need to.
You're talking about this. You're breaking out. You're breaking or what did you do? Broke
I
that
think
out?
I need to invest in a VPN. That might be a good thing to do.
Maybe.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I don't know how that all works. It's just
like my shirt, Lisa. Paranormal Round Table.
nice.
I got a hat too. It's over there. But all right, everybody. Well, we're gonna get out of here. That way we don't run into Abe's show. I am hearing whispering again.
Me here.
Okay, but we're going to go ahead and we're going to get out of here. I hope you guys enjoyed the show and had fun. Chad and I will be putting some more stuff on, and then of course we still have Susie who took tonight off. She had some writers and all that stuff. So, but and then Monday through Friday, don't forget we've got the Sports Cat Daily Gazette that comes on this channel, his channel, and all over the radio. Apparently, Australia likes us. So I like them too, but I won't move there. They make you give up your
Gun.
They make you give up your guns, and I'm not willing to do that. Sorry, it's not happening. So, but all right, guys, y'all have a good night and take care. Have a good rest of the week, or have a good weekend, I should say. And like always, guys, please be kind to one another. You guys have a good night.